How do I find a safe place to work if I am newly sober? So this is something that I've seen. I mean, this is actually a really good question because you have people that are newly sober and maybe they lost their job, they lost their family, their wife left them, your husband left you, whatever it may be. And so I've seen this go several different ways. So for me, I can't really speak to this because I didn't lose my job when I got sober. I had my job, so I continued with my job. What they say is it's best to get a recovery job. If you don't have a job, it's best. What I've seen is it's best to get a recovery job. A recovery job means it's not a super stressful job. You're not working 50 or 60 hours a week out the gate. You're not hitting a home run. This isn't something that's going to be your job forever. And so I've got a few examples of this. We had a guy that went through our program, went through the Camelback Recovery Sober Living program. His name was Patrick. And Patrick was a professional, but he lost his job. His wife left him. And so he was separated. His kids were living with his wife. He went to inpatient treatment. After inpatient treatment, and he was a professional. He had a good job. He had an education. And so it'd be easy for him to go out and get another good job. But he realized that he put his recovery first, which is the only way it works, is if you put your recovery first. So he put his recovery first. He went to inpatient treatment for 30 days or 45 days. He went to inpatient treatment. After inpatient treatment, he went to sober living. He stayed in one of our homes. He did sober living, and he did outpatient treatment. And then after that, and again, I've seen this a lot where people say that, oh, I don't want to spend the rest of my life in sober living. I don't want to spend the rest of my life in treatment. I want to get back to living my life. I need to take care of my family. I need to take care of my kids. I need to make more money. And it never works. That never works. That always leads to relapse. And I'll get to a story. I have a story about that, an example. It's a really sad story, but it's real, and I've seen it. So Patrick, inpatient treatment, sober living, outpatient treatment. Again, this is a professional. And then he comes on board and becomes a house manager for us at Camelback Recovery. His skill set is way above being a house manager. And that's the key. And so it doesn't have to be, hey, you become a house manager, but he wanted to be a house manager because being a house manager meant that it was continued accountability. He had to continue working a 12-step program, going to meetings, having a sponsor, meeting with his sponsor, doing all of the things. Because when you're in your addiction, when you're drinking, when you're using, typically you're drinking or using for who knows how long, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. So it takes more than 30 days in inpatient treatment, 90 days in sober living. It takes more time to really reprogram the way that you think and develop new healthy lifestyle habits. If you go back to that highly stressful job, especially if you're starting a new job and it's a skilled position, it's going to cause stress. The stress could potentially lead to a relapse. That's the trigger. And especially if you want your wife back, you want your kids back, you want your career back, you want to start making more money, all of these things, it's just too much. So Patrick, again, becomes a house manager. He was a house manager for us for 6 months. And then he went out while still a house manager for us, and he started looking for jobs. And he ended up getting a job at Intel, and it was a high-paying job. So he's a professional. He's making great money. He has good relationships. He's mended his relationships with his kids, with his wife, with his significant other, and he's back at home, and he's doing things the correct way. And so that's the right way to do it. So you don't have to go out and become a house manager, but getting a job that's not highly stressful. So work at a coffee shop, go with 𝐒𝐷 by Emily and get a job working 20 hours a week. Drive for Uber. I drove for Uber for a while, and it was great. It was perfect. It was perfect for me. I got to drive around. It was not stressful. And I got to just talk with people. Occasionally I'd get someone in my car that was drunk, and it was just a good reminder to me, like, hey, that is not what I want to look like. That's not what I want my life to look like. That's not who I want to be. So a job that is a recovery job, not stressful, working at the movie theaters, driving for Uber, driving for Lyft, driving for Instacart, go get a job with _by Emily. So those are the types of things. You're not trying to hit a home run. You're not trying to make a ton of money. You just want to get a job to keep you busy and to do something different, maybe put a little bit of money in your pocket. I have another story that I forgot to include. It was a story about a guy who was in our sober living, and he interviewed to being a house manager for Camelback Recovery. He was a guy that was kind of clean and sober for a while, in and out of the rooms. And he was in and out of treatment multiple times. And he was high level. So he made great money, great pay. He's had great paying jobs. And I remember he interviewed for us at Camelback Recovery, and he declined the position because he needed to make more money, because he needed to take care of his wife or his ex-wife. He needed to take care of his kids, and he needed to make more money. And so he kind of skipped the recovery process. And of course, going out and trying to get that high paying job leads to working 50, 60, 70 hours a week, leads to more stress, leads to a relapse. And in this guy's case, he relapsed and he died. He overdosed and he died. And so now his family his kids don't even have a dad. And his ex-wife doesn't have a husband. I mean, he's dead now. He's gone. And that's so sad. So recovery, alcoholism, it's life or death. This disease is life or death. So taking suggestions, just understand you're where you are, and taking suggestions and doing the things that other people are telling you should do is probably a good thing, because your best thinking got you where you are today. And I'm going to say that over and over and over again.